good time.
This is the last broadcast of January.
Wow. Can you believe we're already the end of January practically?
Christmas is only 11 months away, by the way. In case you were counting.
Start buying now. Get your Christmas gifts. Get them now before the crowds.
I should start a daily countdown on my social media again.
Oh my God.
And just post it up every morning for the next year and see how many people get annoyed with it.
320 days left. 300.
Exactly.
It's like, no, please, no. So, how's it going, Mr. Gillette?
So I'm in the middle of setting up, all right, because I am moving forward with this web design thing, all right. We're in the middle of setting it all up. And someone asked me yesterday, so do you have this all automated with a web page they can go to? I'm like, no. All right. I have always said in business, build the system and then fill in the automation tools to make it work later. I don't have the system down and completed yet. Okay. So I had one person, we have two clients who actually have web pages up on our hosting, and I had someone call or someone say yesterday, hey, I got so-and-so who's a client of mine and needs a website. Can you do it? I'm like, yes. This is 2 weeks ago. So he called again yesterday. He texted me yesterday. Hey, did so-and-so call you about their website? And I'm like, no. So he texted me back and said, they're going to call today. Haven't heard from him.
I get the same thing. I had, and what drives me nuts is I got one girl who called me and said, okay, so I have this website that I kind of put together. So where is it hosted? I'm not quite sure. GoDaddy, Bluehost, I'm not quite sure. You set it up, right? Yeah, but I can't remember where I put it. Okay. But I need all these things done and I need it done in a week. Okay.
No. We are doing templated websites. So I'm trying to get all the templates up. Right. And as back pages, all right, on my website. So I can take them to sample, go here for template 1, go here for template 2, template 3. And it's templates, but if you give us everything we need for the template, you'll tell us the template, you give us everything we need. We can have it up in 48 hours. That's the easy part. But it's 90% of the time people don't have a website up is because they don't give the information to their web developer.
Nope.
All right. But wait a minute. But when they want to change on it, they want it done right away. All right. Yes. And that's why.
Or 90% of the time, they don't even know who their target audience is.
Well, I solve that objection. First thing, all right, I do is I send when they're in. I learned to ask questions to find that out. I send them over to John Limbacher. Go through John Limbacher's course.
That's a good idea. Because I tell them I'm starting to change things up, and I'm getting to that point now where I'm going to be putting out a pre-form that if you answer these questions, yes, then we can work with you. If you can answer these questions, too many no, then we're going to have to move you to someone else to work with because
I have a client in my mastermind who our web services is not right for them.
Yeah.
I had to send them to somebody else because of the fact that their web demands are different than what we offer. And I'm okay with that, right? Most people aren't. They're like, well, I want to try to make this work. I don't need the $47 a month that bad.
Nope. So here's and the thing is even as entrepreneurs, I think you should always have a tool of resources out there that if you can't do the job, you can pass it on to somebody who can and work out an affiliate with them. Because the thing is it's a win-win on both sides. It's not a matter of, I'm not going to send them off to my competition because then they're going to appreciate the fact that you didn't just say, sorry, can't help you. Wish we could, but can't. Bye. They're going to appreciate the fact that you gave them something to go to. And that if they're happy with that, then great. But I really, really, truly believe that entrepreneurs should have those resources in their bucket so that they've got enough people to pass them to. That's just my take on it. Because you're giving more value for your clients and they're going to see that, wow, she didn't just push me off. She actually gave me a couple resources to go to. That's wow. Okay. If they work out, they work out. If they don't, that's not your mission. It's just you're helping your clients get the things done they need to get done. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think. I think that every entrepreneur should have that in their back pocket, even. And I think I mean, I'll just pass them on to you for simple and easy stuff because I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing any more. I'm not doing any more Squarespace. I'm not doing any more Wix.
Well, no, I don't. I don't.
Not,
I never have, never will.
Not doing it anymore because those suck. They suck.
Huh.
They're platforms that are hokey and jerky and
No, I do WordPress because there's all kinds of tricks I can do with WordPress.
WordPress is so robust and it's so inexpensive to do in so many respects that it's just not worth going with these other ones.
Well, no, you know, this is one of the things we're offering with the people who use our hosting and stuff is we do, you know, I set up things like I set up the SEO, well, I can't even remember the name, SEO, Yoast, SEO. We set up Yoast on there for, all right, we set up a security scan for them. And the third thing is that we're putting in like, you know, the pretty links. So you can tell me I've got affiliate links and I could take your domain.com/ and make up a word and I can make it up and make it point to wherever you want to go. And we're offering that as part of it. We'll go in and do it for you. And most people are like, that service right there in itself is what makes ours worth more.
Yeah. And that's what, hey, Lori, what's up, girlfriend? Long time no see. I mean, I agree. We do the same thing, but we do it at a little bit of a higher level in regards to we go into a whole depth of things. But I just think when you're putting a website together, and we've talked about this, you have to think of so many things, and people don't think about that. And they just come in, like I said, I want a website. I want this, this, and this. And by the way, it needs to be done tomorrow because I have a thing coming up.
Yeah. Most people, when most people, here's when most people start thinking about their websites. And it's one of the prerequisites we're putting into our mastermind program. To stay in the program year 2, you have to have a website up.
Yeah.
If you haven't put up a website in 1 year, you ain't serious about your business. Please stop paying me money. I'm not worth it.
No.
Right? Because that's the key to everything we teach in our Simply Easy marketing system is have a website up. Does not have to be, all right, the e-commerce mega spot, all right? It has to have the basics. And I tell people the basics your website needs to do for you nowadays is it's got to say who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you. You got those 3 basics up, you're started. That's the most thing most people don't do in a website. And people go research them and go, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we go to the extent too where, and this is down the line when you've already figured things out, but when you know who your target audience is, the key thing when you're writing a website is you're writing it towards your target audience. Yeah. You're not writing it about you, you're writing it about your target audience, what their gaps are, what their pains are, and how you can help them and the benefits you can supply for them. Plus your website, so many people miss out on, they can have their people paying them on their website. They can have the people calendaring and setting up appointments on their website without doing this email back and forth. There's so many things they can have set up as long as they have their systems in the background set up too, which is what we help them with. Mm-hmm. That way, they can kind of set it, not necessarily set it and forget it, but at least it's going to work for them instead of just not work against them. And there 9 times out of 10, I can't tell you how many times websites out there they have no contact information, none whatsoever, and they have no contact information. They have no nothing about that. They have a huge bio, accolades talking about them all over the place, but nothing about their clients, their target audience, how they can help them. Nothing. It amazes me how many bad websites are out there. In fact, I read an article that they said across, even in the UK, across the United States, that 68 to 70% of people that are business owners are embarrassed with their websites, but they won't do anything about it. But they're embarrassed with them, but they're okay with it, right? They know they're losing money and they know they're leaving a lot of money on the table, but they're embarrassed with their website, but they're dealing with it because at least they got a website. And that's the way they look at it. But they're leaving a lot of money on the table and they know that, but they don't do anything to change it. Just saying, money's money, people. You know? It's not that difficult to do. And we're changing things up here. We're going to start setting up a DIY, do it yourself. We're going to go through a webinar and we're going to set them up, not only showing them how to set up their own website and so forth, but by the time they're done with this, they'll have their website set up, their social media, their marketing, their blog or vlog. They'll have everything set up. Systems in the background, whole works. And they'll be ready to go in 6 months. They'll have everything done. That's what we're working on putting together. Or we can do it for you at a cost. Up to you. But that's what we're working on, is setting that all up. And if you want it fairly inexpensive, I'll have you work with Tim.
Because I'm cheap and easy.
Tim.
Oh, no, it's simple easy, not cheap and easy. That was my ex-girlfriend, cheap and easy.
Cheap and easy. Well, and here's the other question that we've talked about a lot of times is when you're paying for something, a lot of times people feel like if I pay a lot of money, it's going to be worth the price. And that's not always the case. I mean, just as an example, we just moved into this house. We were getting quotes for the yard. We got a quote from one guy that was the one who was doing all the yards out here. And this yard is not big at all. And the yard in California that we had was a 10,000 square foot lot. They quoted us like 20 grand to do all of it. 10,000 square foot lot. This guy was charging us $24,000 for a 2,400 square, 2,400 square foot area to do. And that was it. It's like, so you're not really always getting what you pay for, because we found another guy who did it for half the price, much better, came out great.
Yeah.
So just because you're paying a high price doesn't always mean you're getting high value.
Well, yeah.
Some
people are high price because they're just greedy.
Yeah. Yeah. So anytime you're looking at things and you're trying to buy things, you always want to look not just at the price, but what you're getting for that price. And if it's really worth it, because it's not always the case. But that's what people say. Oh, it's expensive. Must be worth it. If it's expensive, must be good. No, do your homework, people. Right, Lori? Do your homework.
Lori will tell you all about cheap photographers, I'm sure. I'm sure she's seen them.
Yes. And Lori does a great job for a very reasonable price.
Yep.
She does a great job.
Yep. She's done my photos for years, I guess. And if she's coming to this next one, we'll probably do another set.
Yeah. When is the next one?
Oh, Craig's doing something in April here in Dallas.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, that's right. I remember he sent me something, but I won't be able to go. That's probably when we're going to be going to see my granddaughter for the first time.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 conferences that I'm going to where I'm leaving the house.
Wow.
Right, before June. His is one of them, and the second one is for real estate. All right. And both of them are in Dallas, but because they're so far down, I'm just getting a hotel and staying there. Because I'm going there to focus and shutting my business down for those days.
Very nice. Woohoo! Nice job, Lori. Raise those prices, girlfriend.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm not. But Lori, but Lori, is that my price, or is my price still the secret price? Like, we're not telling Lori. Just don't tell them what my secret price is. Just say yes.
I have a secret price.
Just say yes.
Go in and I have a secret price.
My secret price is twice that. No, I'm kidding. Like, your new secret price is 3 times the. Yeah.
You always have a secret. Hmm. What exactly is
Hey,
that secret prize?
you don't want to know what I have to do to
Yeah.
get
What
that.
do you have to give out there, Tim?
You, now you know why Lori and I are so chummy.
Oopsie.
We both know where each other's bodies are buried.
Well, shh. Oh my gosh.
Okay, come on. She's from
Come
New York.
on.
I'm from Philadelphia. If you don't think that there's a anyway.
Ah, oh my goodness. How many people is he expecting this time?
I don't know.
Hard to say, huh?
Wait a minute. All right, let's make sure he's not listening. Hold on, I'll put it. No. I'll put it in here for you. All right. I'm gonna put it to the private chat. All right. And you just don't it's between you and me.
Shh. It's our little secret. Got it. Got it.
That's how many people are coming.
Got it. Got it.
That's how many people are coming.
Yeah.
So
how did your virtual event go?
Oh, we've always got a couple dozen that show up and watch it live, and then a lot of people watch the recordings. So
nice. Did you get some new clients on top of it?
We got one new client out of this past one. So
very good.
So we're tweaking my system. So basically, I'm trying to get out of my virtual events. I'm trying to get a conversation now. I'm not necessarily trying to make the sale like I was before. I'm trying to get a conversation because I want to see where they need to go.
Yeah.
All right. Because I have a lot more. I have a lot more things in my secret backpack. That now it's not just about, hey, is my mastermind right for you? No, I've sent a dozen people who came to me for my mastermind somewhere else last year because of the fact that was not what they needed. Instead, I find them what they need and I send them there.
And that, folks, is
but that's affiliate. But I get paid affiliate money on that. So if I'm sending them to Lori for like photography, all right, I get a commission on that. All right, my secret commission, I get it. Yeah. If I send them to like John Limbacher for a website, all right, John pays me a fee. I send them to you for a website, I get paid a fee. Yeah. All right, that's what I started doing, and a lot of people last year, I started making a lot of people go through John's ACT program before they would work with me, because of the fact I was sick and tired of working with people who have no clue, right? And I have one client who spent 3 years with me, battling, not knowing we haven't a clue where they wanted to go, what they wanted to do, who they wanted to reach. All right. And they refused to get started with a show like this to even find people of interest to ask them, how can I help?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I think the key thing is that you sit down and you figure out what is it you do that makes you different than the rest of the competition that's out there, and then start doing your research and finding out the people out there that need you and the people out there that you can help.
No. I have this one friend from the Dallas area here, and connected to her, and she started doing Facebook Lives like 2 weeks ago every day. And I said, keep doing it. All right, just keep going forward. She doesn't necessarily. I mean, she's got a product she's trying to push, but she doesn't necessarily have the niche down. All right, but she's doing something every day that she is building an audience with.
Yep.
Right, and that's the first thing, is getting the habit of doing a thing every day. All right. If you can do it every day, then we can put the next step in of put an opt-in page for people.
Yep.
Right.
So now you can start lead generating.
Yeah. And start generating leads is the point. All right. And sometimes it's just as simple as hey, I'm looking to meet people. I'm having a coffee. Like I set up, let's see if I can actually pull it up for you guys.
Well, and while you're pulling that up, I want to go over, because sometimes people don't know what lead generating really means. So lead generating means that, like Tim said, if you've got a website and you've got some type of a freebie or something that you're going to funnel them through, they're going to give you their name and their email address that then gets added to your list or to your CRM, which is a client resource management system where it just houses everything. And now they are a lead because now they are on your list, and now you can start to talk to them more, and now you can start to give them more options and so on and so forth. So lead generating is a way to get people on your list, because as entrepreneurs, that's where the gold is, your list.
See, here's the newest thing I started doing. Let's have coffee.
That's a good one. Very nice.
And most people won't think smart enough to do this. They'll just think, well, here, let's, and they'll send this to their app, all right, that books their calendar. I don't, all right. Mine makes you, this one here, you go to this page, all right, it makes you choose virtually or live here in Dallas. Now, nice. You click on either one of them, it's still going to ask you for your name and email address.
Yep, because that's what you need.
Because that puts them in my database, and it tags them that they applied to have coffee with me. Right? Once they have coffee, I have them tagged, all right, met. And then I'm able to put the notes in there about the coffee meeting.
Okay,
right?
so
doesn't necessarily mean that I'm adding to the list so I can market the shit out of it. No, I'm doing it because I'm now building a database of people and what they're looking for.
And it's very honed in. It's very specific. Honed in.
So all right.
And I'm going to give you a tip here. So listen up, people. I'm going to give you a tip here.
Just a tip?
Just a tip. A tip. People will look at this and they'll say, oh no, do I have to get this domain name? No. Here's the thing. You can still utilize social media. You can still have people go in on your social media channel and give them a link. And now you know where they're coming from by simply doing what Tim did here. Instead of saying coffee, say Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or TikTok, whatever. And when you do that, you give them that link on your Facebook. Now they're coming in and you know exactly where they came from. And now you've got all of the data you need so that now you can start to build that list and be very specific to that list, because you know this list belongs on Facebook, this one Twitter, whatever. Plus, you can also see your stats and find out where the majority of your people hang out simply by doing this. And what it is it's simply putting them to a page. And that's all this is. It's just putting them to a page, you name that page, and that's what it is, without having to get a different domain or going to any lengths. It's just a simple page that you're pointing them to.
Well, I actually have the actual /coffee is using pretty links. So I created the page. I just have it pretty linked like this, and it sends them to the page I want them to go to.
But you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is just name the page that, and you don't even have to.
But what if I host that page in Kartra?
Doesn't matter. Does it?
Got that domain to get to it, and Kartra is different.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're using just WordPress, and I believe
if you're using just WordPress, you can, because this one here happens to be created with Optimized Press, which is what I use a lot. All right, because I'm very familiar with Optimized Press. But I do a lot of Kartra pages, right, for different things, and I just send them to the Kartra page.
But I thought in Kartra there was a way that you could name it.
You could, but my regular domain is Tim Gillette. I don't want to move my domain into Kartra.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But everything is a subdomain off of Tim Gillette.
No, I got you. Yep, I got you.
No, but all right. But in the case of the people coming in and they need John Limbacher's ACT program, all right, timgillette.com/ACT will take you to John Limbacher's ACT program.
Yeah. So it depends on the system you're using too, folks. I mean, if you're using a one-stop shop, which is Kartra, which is what Tim's using, and what I'm using, which is GHL, Go High Level, they have different ways of doing this type of thing. But if you have just a WordPress site, and I believe even in, I'm not sure, but I think even in Squarespace and the other simple ones, you just set up a page and you set up that naming of that page. whether it be Facebook, Twitter, like I said, and now you're going to get your stats of where people are coming from, and you can funnel them into your website because that's what you want to do. You want to get their name and number because you're not going to get that from social media.
No.
Social media owns that list. You do not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the best way to push them into your website, get your stats, know where your people are hanging out. There's your research. And now you've got them on your list. Mm-hmm. And now you can start to finesse that list and start to talk to them about where they're at and what they're doing and what do they need, and do your research. That's the biggest thing that clients that I deal with, as well as I'm sure you deal with, is they don't do the research. When you say, well, have you researched? Well, no. How do we do that? How do I find out if I haven't? I thought I hadn't. No, got to do your research. Got to find out. That's what all business owners do. That's like throwing spaghetti on the wall, hoping it sticks. Here we go. Oh, that didn't stick so well. Let's try this one. Just saying. Business owners know this. You all should know this. Did you give me something else?
Yeah. Don't say it. Just read it.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, like I said, I'm going to be starting a new program.
No. That is a word I think we're going to stop using on this show. I'm going to be starting.
Good idea.
I think that's right there. No. That explains how many people come that are in our realm. One of the reasons why you and I started this show and started doing the stuff that we were doing is because we got sick of people saying, I'm gonna.
Yep. I have started.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it all. I've got the program and everything all written out. I'm just working on pulling it all together.
Yeah.
I have started. Not I'm gonna. I have started.
Yeah.
I've already started. And that's, I mean, and here's another thing that's kind of a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
There's all these training classes out there. Ton of them. Oh, if you come here, we'll show you how to make millions. Oh, if you come here, we'll show you how to build your business and grow it into $1 million bit. Oh, we'll go. But the problem with a lot of these training pieces that I've noticed is they'll give you all these resources, but they don't tell, and they say, do this and do that, but they don't help you with the how. They tell you the what, but they don't help you with the how.
But that is the business model of the self-help industry. Tell them what they need to do and make them come back to you to ask for the how so you can upsell them to the next thing.
But not everybody teaches the how. They just
no, they don't. There's a lot of people, but there are people. There are people who their program is designed to get the how inside the program, but most people get in the program and they still say, I'm gonna.
Yep. They never do the how. And even those, like you said, that have taught you the what and the how, people are still saying, one day I'm going to do that. One day I'm going to get that done. One day I'm going to, or they walk away and say, yeah, that didn't help me at all. Didn't work. Did you do any of it? Well, no. Then how do you know if it really worked or not if you didn't do any of it? I mean, it's up to us to take the action on it and actually do it. That's the biggest thing. But it's a total pet peeve of mine. If you're going to take the time to do this, I'm just saying, if you're going to take the time to pay for it, take the time out of your day to go there, freaking do it. Make a commitment to yourself. I'm going to do 3 of these things. Granted, I know they give you a slew of things to do, but you can say, I'm going to do 3. Circle the top 3 things you're going to start with, and then go next 3, and so on and so forth. And you'll get that much better at it. Stop saying I'm gonna.
This is going to be, we're going to build the business G-Spot rules of business.
Yes.
Rule number 1, stop saying I'm gonna.
I'm gonna. Rule number 2, act on it. Act on it.
No, rule number 2, tell me what you've done, not what you're going to do.
Yes. True.
Yeah.
True.
I'm getting ready to start planning the next steps to take to start planning.
To plan my next venture. Gotta act, people. Gotta act. And the thing is, and I'm just as guilty. A lot of people say, I don't have the time. I'm so busy. I've got this going on. I've got that. I just don't have the time. If you really want to get something done, you're going to make the time. If you really want to make more money and you feel this is going to be the piece to make that more money, then you'll make the time. Even if you have to spend a couple hours a night working on it, you'll make the time. Right?
See, we got Brian Kelly just writing these down for us.
Yeah, stop saying I'm gonna. Tell me what you've done and now what you're gonna do.
So,
that's what we need to be doing. We need to stop saying we're our worst enemy.
Okay, all right.
I'm working on
Brian? Hit him, Brian. Lori, hit him. Somebody else.
Gotta do. Less talk, more do, more action. Less talk, more action.
Dr. Christie jumps in. Business what? This is the business G spot. Here we go. See that?
I'm making more money.
Robert, read what Brian said.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
I'm in the money. I'm in the money. Yeah.
It's got to be in the present, not the past in the present.
Christy, you think that's funny, huh? Well, no. I think we should take a moment and tell people one of the reasons why we chose that name. Because I don't think we've ever done it, all right? And I'm sure you have. There was things in your mind behind doing this. There was things in my mind when we were trying to do this. And when that name came out, I'm like, yeah.
That's it.
Most people look at that and they think like you know what I mean? They think of you know, like the G spot dirty word, all right, you know, sex. This isn't about, all right, the G spot is like, you know, that hot point.
That perfect moment when you're sitting down and you're trying to figure out what's not working in your business, and all of a sudden you get that perfect moment and it clicks and you're like, oh my God, if I do this, this, and this, I can do this, this, and this. And if I put this together and that together, and then you start doing it, and before you know it, you're making money. Yeah. It's that perfect moment. That's what the G spot is about. It's that perfect moment when you figure out your why. That perfect moment when you figure out, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this, this, and that. That perfect moment when you figure out, I don't have to do this 9-to-5 job. I can do my own thing. The zone, exactly. That perfect moment.
But no, that is all right. I was looking for, you know, when we were looking, I mean, we were in a mastermind that basically we were having people throw out ideas together. We took our hot seats at this mastermind with Craig Duswalt. All right. If we don't mention Craig, he gets upset.
Craig.
So we're at this mastermind with Craig, and we each had hot seats, but we decided to take it together and ask people, say we're trying to find a unique name for the show, right? And when this came up, right, it was like, because I was looking along the lines of how do I get people in that moment of action that they really, really want to move forward? How do I get people to take the hot things? And originally we thought we were going to be the hot topic of the day, but we abandoned that process because the hot topic of the day is here today and gone tomorrow. All right. Yeah. And business G spot fit that, right? But it didn't. Okay. That person there is being kicked off of my freaking things because he just keeps moving. You know, you know, going for that, what's hot for today, all right, could mean that. And originally I thought that, but then I've always looked at everything I've done in my life that has been super successful. I didn't follow the hot thing of the day.
No.
I still rooted in the grounding things that work. So it's like I'm always able to get that because I'm grounded in stuff that does work.
Yes.
Not the newest rumor of the day.
Or the fad, which, as we know, fads come and they go.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with business. I mean, we're all going through fads right now in business. We all are. Since the pandemic, most people have taken so many training because a lot of people that took advantage of this, which was very smart, and said, okay, I'm going to train as many people as I can for $97 or $197. And people thought, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And I can get some training in the process. I'm going to do that. So you saw there was training everywhere, all over the place. We'll help you do this. We'll help you do that. We'll help you do this. I think it got to the point where it's just vomiting training everywhere. And people now have gotten to that point where they've taken all of these training pieces thinking they've got all the things they need, but a lot of them haven't taken any action, which I get, because a lot of times when we're thrown so much stuff, we get into overwhelm and we do nothing. We just sit there and say, I don't know where to start. I have all these, you know what? It's just not going to do anything because I don't know where to start. Yeah. And that's why I say you just take the top three things, and that's what you work on. And then the next top three, and so on and so forth, because physically as human beings, we can only handle three things at any given time.
That's right.
Three decisions, three colors, when you go and you design a house, or you start to buy the furniture for the house or the flooring for the house. If you get more than three samples, you're like, I have no clue what to pick now. Right. No clue. But if you get three samples, no problem.
No. All right. No, this one here is the most famous one. All right. In a couple, right? Where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go? They can't make a decision. But then wait a minute. No. I found a way to do this. Hey, Katrina, when you're in Dallas, all right, I'll bet you'll never guess where I'm going to take you to dinner.
Yeah. Guess
where I'm going to take you to dinner.
I don't know. Barbecue.
Oh, you're so good. This is a way to get one person to make the decision. All right. When you have too many options, get one person to make the decision. That's how I would do it. I say to my wife all the time, I'm taking you to a special place. I'll bet you'll never guess. McDonald's. You picked it, honey. How did you know?
Great. Well, the problem with my husband and I is he'll ask me, what do you want for dinner? I'll say Mexican. He'll say, I really don't want Mexican. I'd like, well, then why'd you ask me? I think I'd rather have this. It's like, well, then let's just go where you want to go because you've already made up your mind. So it just depends. But that's a good point. I mean, it's just, I think we have to simplify things, especially as business owners. We make too much out of, we'll take this small piece of paper and we'll say, oh, it's square, but maybe if I turn it this way, or then maybe if I color it, or then maybe, and then we make so much out of it. By the time we're done, we're like, I'm exhausted. I can't do anymore. I'm done. I think if we simplify things and just take it down to the bare bones basics and see, okay, where do I need to start with first? And then go from there. What do I need to start with next? And then go from there. Because I think we just make too much. We give ourselves too much homework. We give ourselves too much angst. We give ourselves too much overwhelm because we make so much out of a piece of paper. I'm just saying. We just need to simplify things. And that's just with business too. Even putting websites together. How many times have you talked with clients and you ask them, so do you have a logo? No, but maybe you can help me do a logo. Oh, I like that one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll like that. How about the colors? Well, gee, I don't know. I think I like this color and that color. Well, that doesn't rhyme with this, or that doesn't tie in with that. So why is this? I just like it. It's a nice color.
Really? So
there are all these things that are going through your head. Don't you agree?
Yeah, exactly. So, I just thought of another rule. Hold on. I'm just going to do it this way.
Type in your rule. Should I do the drum roll?
Yeah, because we're counting on how fast Tim can type.
Type faster. Type faster. Type faster. Come on, Tim. Didn't you take typing class?
No, I did not. I failed typing.
Dun, 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 dun. Rule 3, keep your comments even when it hurts.
Keep your commitments even when it hurts.
Hurts. Dun, dun, dun. And look at all those channels we're on. How cool is that? That's where it's going to. Simple. Simple. Like, oh, I don't know. I got an idea. Simple and easy marketing. Maybe.
Yeah, I wonder who came up with that idea.
Simple. Make it simple.
You know, the original one I was going to do was stupid easy.
Stupid easy. Yeah, but sometimes people get offended with the stupid.
Well,
comment.
yeah, somebody actually had it trademarked. That's why I didn't do it. It's because he contacted me and said, hey, you're treading on mine. I'm like, whoa, I think I need to stop that one. Let's find another one.
Yeah, never mind. Thank you very much. Never mind.
Well, no, but I'm good friends with him because basically when I found Simplies, I basically said, hey, thanks for your feedback because that helped me search to know you had it. But it also helped me pursue a different one. And I'm going after simple, easy marketing. And he went, whoa, that's awesome.
Yep. I mean, there's, like I said, as business owners, we have a lot to do. So figure out what's going to make the cash register ring is what they always say. That's what Sandra Yancey always says. Figure out what's going to make the cash register ring, and that's what you do the most of.
Well, yeah. All right. But you got to be helping people. So yes. I shared with my mastermind last night, and I was talking about this idea that, one of the things that frustrated me in 2022 was there's a lot of people in the self-help industry who have not helped themselves. All they're helping themselves with is helping themselves to your cash.
Yep, pretty much, and not really helping you.
They don't fix or do anything in their lives, but they'll sell you on a way to do it.
And here's the thing. As a business owner, even a brand new business owner, even a seasoned business owner, how do you see that coming so that now you don't waste your time, your effort, and your money? Because these people are really good at the sales. They're good at the content. They're good at getting you in. They're really good at saying, do you need this? Are you tired of that? This is where you start. Blah, blah, blah. They're real good salesmen. Really good at it. And then you get into it and you start to realize, shit, this is not what they claimed it to be. Not even close. But you've already
be a product or be a customer of the product first.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
One of the greatest ones I seen of this was, and I still quote it. I quoted this girl just the other night, and I met her in somewhere. It was in California. It was not quite out to where you guys were, but it was off the 101. I can't remember the name of the town. But I was attending an event, and oh God, what was the girl's name? The Tara McHugh's event. I remember. How many of you guys know Tara?
Oh, that's in Calabasas, or it could have been.
No, she wasn't in Calabasas. She wasn't quite the Calabasas. She was more closer to the 101. And
I actually was part of Tara McHugh's mastermind group.
Yeah. It was an event that Tara McHugh put on, and a lady was there that I met. Her name was Rhonda Britton.
Yes, I know Rhonda Britton.
Rhonda Britton impressed me with her story so much because I met Rhonda. All right. Before she even spoke that day, I was talking to the photographer at the event in the back, and she walks up and just starts talking. And she was there. All right. And she just turns to me and goes, "Excuse me, sexy lady here. Don't you want to talk to her?" And I just love that. First of all, I'm like, whoa, there's a woman who knows who she is. Right.
Her story is amazing. Amazing.
And I just quoted her to somebody just the other day, and I said, "Man, have you seen her what her story is?" And they're like, "No." I was like, she tried to kill herself 3 times, and she realized, well, I suck at that. I'm not successful at killing myself, so I guess I better find a way to live.
Yeah. Well, and her story based on why she wanted to do that.
Okay, honey, this was long before I knew you.
And she wasn't a photographer.
This is an ex, okay? It was before you, honey.
And she wasn't a photographer. She was an author.
And it was a he. You are much sexier than he was, okay? Just saying, Lori.
Yeah, Tara McHugh put on some really good events. Mm-hmm. And what really got me with Tara McHugh that I thought, wow, she got really big names into her events simply by talking to them and asking them, I run these events. I would love it if you would like to attend, be one of the speakers. Let me know. And a lot of people think, oh, they're too big. There's no way they're going to answer back. They did.
Yeah.
They answered back. They love doing things like that. And that's how Tara McHugh really built her business, is she would do these events and bring these big names in based on her connections. And it was, and she would say, folks, all I did was send them an email and ask them if they would come talk to my group. That's all I did.
Yeah, I did that with when I was first starting my first podcast out. I was on Blog Talk Radio and trying to get guests. And I remember, I remember how it started. I got my confidence built. All right, I was at a blog event in Las Vegas, and Guy Kawasaki, not Guy, no. Wasn't Guy Kawasaki? Yeah, Guy Kawasaki, not Robert Kiyosaki, but Guy Kawasaki, who was like one of the people from early days of Apple. And I just struck up a conversation with him. I says, well, I have a podcast. Would you be interested in being on it? And he said, sure, I'll do that for you. So, I mean, and gave me the contact information. We started setting it up. So I felt confident enough. Okay, great. So I went home and I'm like, who else can I ask? And I think I wrote to Bob Berg, and Bob Berg said yes. And then I'm like, well, okay, I'm doing good at this. Who else can I ask? So I wrote to Larry Wingett and asked. And Larry Wingett said yes. So at that point in time, I mean, I had these all lined up in 1 month, right? And I was feeling so confident. I'm like, well, you know who's pretty popular that everybody likes is, you know, they like President Clinton. Maybe I reach out and say, hey, President Clinton, would you be on my podcast? And I reached out through the avenues that I knew to get to President Clinton's office. And I got back a reply right away. We've received your request and someone will be in contact with you soon, right? So I started saying right away, right? You know what I mean? We're in talks to have President Clinton on the podcast, right? That was like all cocky. And then he wrote me a letter. They wrote a letter, and he wrote a letter. It was signed by him, but I'm sure it was his assistant that said,
sure.
I can't do that because if I did it for you, I'd have to do it for everybody. And there's just too many out there right now. And I couldn't, you know, and I get it, right? It's a write-off excuse.
Yeah.
But that triggering thing started, all right. I was on somebody else's podcast and I said, they asked me a question. How did you get Larry Wingett on your podcast? And I said, I called him up and asked.
Yep.
And that got 2 other people. I got him on 2 other people's podcasts because I said, here's the contact information to go get it. And it was Alan Skidmore and Chris Roush. Both got him on this podcast.
Well, here's the thing is a lot of these folks, they want to get out there just as much as you do.
Yeah.
And they want to get in front of new audiences just as much as you do. And this gives them that opportunity. And it gives you that opportunity to have somebody that's a big name on your podcast so that, and I'm sure that podcast had a lot of people watching. And
I don't remember now. I can go back. I still can access the recordings of that one and see how many people watched it. But one of my most popular, here's the other thing is people going after the celebrities. I learned another trick to get people to listen to your podcast. Don't always go after the celebrities. Go after a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Here's why. Roger Dumadag, which you know Roger. Roger's first time he was ever on a podcast was mine. First one he was ever on. Roger told everybody he was going to be on my podcast. You know, another one was this girl that I interviewed when I was still on Blog Talk Radio, and I did a special episode just for her. All right, the disease she had somewhat of a tough speech impediment to it, and I interviewed her. And I can't remember her name now because she was trying to practice because she said, "I want to be a speaker," and I said, "I will interview you on my podcast." 3 times as much as I could get. I can't remember at the time. I think maybe I was getting 70 people to show up and listen to it live. She got like 100 and some people to show up live. Why? She told everybody she was going to be on a podcast.
Yep.
And that was the biggest thing in the world for her. So they all came out to support her. So you bring, you know, a lot of people shy away. I went with a business model of going after the new people as opposed to the seasoned people. And then I throw a seasoned person in there every now and then so they can say, well, I was on the same podcast that, Larry Wingett was on. I was on the same podcast that Guy Kawasaki was on. I was on the same podcast. You know what I mean? And that's a comparison, that they do it. But the new people will tell everybody they're on your podcast.
Yeah, because they're proud of that. They want everybody in their community to know they're on.
They will market you more than anybody you know.
Yes, because the thing is when you've got a podcast, that's your opportunity to thrive. That's your opportunity to get out there and let people know about you. Because I know that right now Google's changing their algorithms again, and 85% is what I've read. 85% of it is going to be video based. 85% video based. So I think the problem a lot of times people don't do podcasts, or they don't go do Facebook Lives, or they don't go on because they're afraid, especially women. Oh, I tried it. It took me 5 hours just to do like 2 minutes because I didn't like the way I was saying this, or I didn't like, but that's the thing is it's not made to be perfect because people don't want to see perfection. They want to see you.
Remember the Craig story with setting up the podcast studio?
Yep.
Making all those videos and then deleting them. And at my event, I said to him, did you save the audio? No.
Nope.
Why not? Nobody sees the audio. You could have put audio podcasts out. I could have. Yeah, you who've been doing a radio show and got me to do one, first of all.
Yeah. Right. You can put it on Apple. You can put it on Spotify. You can put it on iHeartRadio. You can put it all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's what we've talked about too, is you can take content and what they call is evergreen, where evergreen means you can put it all over the place. You can regurgitate that content and put it on social media, put it in if you've got a podcast, you can take, like Tim said, you can take the audio and put it across all of the platforms out there. You can take that audio and have it transcribed and take bits and pieces and now put it across your social media with those bits and pieces and images. I mean, you can take bits of that and put it on your site as a blog. I mean, there's so much you can do by just one podcast. You can make all kinds of content out of it and regurgitate it here and there and all over the place and not even have to think about it because it's already done.
Yeah, that we teach in our mastermind some tools that people can take the video and there's tools out there that will break it up for you.
Yep.
All right, and we teach that in our mastermind and get people to use that tool. So it's like those are things to look for, huh?
Which tool do you use out of curiosity? Or
it's you got to be in my mastermind to learn how to use it.
It's proprietary. Okay, tell me.
Wait a minute. Katrina, if you'd show up for mastermind calls, you'd actually hear what it is.
I know.
Katrina is in my mastermind right away.
I know.
She hasn't been on the call in like 2 months, I think.
Unfortunately, the time that you do it is the time that I go to my networking event and get in front of people and talk and get more interest in clients. So the timing a lot of times is not good for me. But things are changing and you may see me show up.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Timing and everything.
That's the thing is because it's part of my system. To tell you what it is and how it doesn't work. Just go to this one. You won't know. You'll go there, you'll get confused by the tool, and you'll half use it and then throw it away. After you paid for it for 1 month, you won't pay for it to renew, and you'll leave. That is why I teach people within my system how to make things work. That I'm not doing this to go, hey man, no, I'm only going to teach this tool. No, because if you went to the tool by itself without doing all the prep work to come to it and go after it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and you get frustrated.
That is the biggest failure of 90% of the tools out there. We teach you to how to use these tricks, all right, within a system.
Yep, I
agree.
System
plus discipline equals success.
I agree.
Assets plus system plus discipline equals real success.
And I think that's the key, and that's what we're going to do with this new program that I'm working to push out there, is we're going to teach you how to work those systems as well. And so that by the time you're done, you'll have all these systems in place and you'll know how to use them instead of, okay, she told me to do this, but I can't even figure it out. Take you through it step by step. And I think that's what people really need. Is they need that hand holding because they don't have time to say, okay, here you go, figure it out. Bye. It's been nice showing you. Oh, and don't forget to pay me. Yeah. Don't forget that check.
So that's why I went to the way I went with my mastermind is we're building a system for people. We're not just getting people in the mastermind.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And if people come in and don't want to build a system, they don't stay in the mastermind. They're gone. I don't keep them in anymore. I don't let them stay in. No, it's like you
Yeah.
have to be in my platinum program. You have to meet requirements.
Well,
Right.
and you have to be committed to take the action. If you're not going to take the action, what's the point?
Well, yeah, there's also I mean, it's committed to take the action. All right. You have to have money to invest. So, Scott Schilling and I were talking about this just yesterday. Right. And we're talking about, you know what I mean? It's, he had a gentleman who came to him 7 times. He came to him. All right. And said, hey, can I, or, several times he came to him and said, hey, can I break up your program over like 7 credit cards? Now, if someone asks you that, Katrina, all right, I want to join your program, but I have to break it up over 5 credit cards. Would you say yes or no?
It depends on how committed they are to the program.
Mm. Scott said this to me, and I never thought about this until and it's truth. It's what Scott said. No.
He said no.
Nope. Here's why. Here's why. So many people are so much into buying programs. Just like I could share with you what this tool is. All right, you'll go buy it. All right, and it's just another bit of money you spent. But the money to actually make what you create work, you don't have it. If you're having to break up, you know what I mean? My mastermind is $5,000 a year to join the first year if you catch me on a sale. All right, it's $7,500. If you can't afford $5,000 and have money to build your business, I don't want your $5,000. Right? There's a reason for it. Is if you have to break up $5,000 over 4 credit cards, you don't have the money that's going to take to make the business things work, because it's not just the mastermind that makes it work. There are tools that go along with it. And if you can't afford those tools piece by piece, the work I'm going to give you to go do, you ain't going to be able to do. And after a year, you're just going to be out $5,000.
Well, and here's the reason why I say it depends on how committed you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people that, yes, they'll put it over 4 credit cards, let's say. But they'll also pay those credit cards down, because sometimes, I mean, everybody is in a situation, but the thing is if they are paying those credit cards down and they still have the money for all the tools.
But if that's usually when you can't put it on one credit card, that's usually a sign you don't have the money to buy all the tools. That is usually the first sign.
Possibly. But I think it depends on how committed somebody is.
But you could be, you could be committed and be at the end of your finances.
Yeah.
And still not get it done. It
depends on
the old thing, it takes money to make more money.
I agree.
All right. It takes money, it doesn't take money to make money, but it takes money to make more money. Right. And if you don't have the money to do it, go get a job. Like the flip was, all right. I went to a seminar many years ago, Learning Annex seminar. And the guy who spoke at the very end, I went through it and I said, man, I just don't have the money. And he said, he said, do you have the credit card to join any of these programs? And I said, I don't even have that. He said, okay, here's something that no one will ever tell you. And he told me a plan of how to go research one thing I learned at that seminar and get started with it down the road and try to make $1 or $2 doing it. And then take the money I make from that. Don't spend it, take the money and then buy the program to learn how to get better at it. He said, most people won't. They'll put it on the credit card. And because they put it on the credit card and they're not thinking about it, all right, they don't have more money to make it work. So what do? They pay the credit card off. And it's just like I'm paying to go to college on credit.
Yeah.
All right. And I've seen this happen many a times. They borrow this money to go to college and then they don't get the degree. They still have to pay the money back.
Yeah, I agree. But I think, like I said, it depends on their tenacity, because there are some people out there that are working to pay those credit cards off, but they know they need this program because it's going to make them more money, as well as, and so on and so forth. And I don't know. I mean, as a business owner, that's up to you and what you consider. I do it on gut. Yeah. If I feel deep down inside in my gut, they're like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think so. Because we saw people that were at Craig's event that bought all kinds of stuff. And then they came back and said, can I get a refund on this or get a refund on that? I think I spent too much. Mm-hmm. But there are also people out there that are habitual. What do we want to say? They'll buy anything just because. Oh, hey, I'll just buy this. I'll buy that. Doesn't mean they're going to act on it, but they'll buy it. So I really think it depends on the person, how committed they are to the program and to get it done. That's just me.
Yeah. Because I've seen too many people do that and not build the business is why I hold back on it. I want people who are serious about building the business. All right.
But with me though, I mean, the people that I deal with, they don't put it under, they just put it under one credit card and you're done. So I haven't really had to deal with that.
I know. But no, it's very rare. But when it happens, most people have never looked at it in that way.
No, I agree.
All right. When I joined Craig's mastermind, I had a $50,000 motorcycle, but I couldn't afford to pay the $3,300 or whatever it was at the time to join his mastermind. I was willing to sell my motorcycle to build my business.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends.
Most people aren't willing to give up the luxuries they have in their life. And that's why they put it on a credit card. They put it on 2 credit cards or 4. And then they're making payments on the credit cards, but they're not putting the work to work.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why you got to start setting boundaries on it. So we're at the top of the hour, but anyway. But now that my next call is canceled on me. Rule number 1 with Tim: don't cancel an appointment. It pisses me off.
How many times have I ever canceled on you?
No, I had. Remember when I was? This was when I had my other podcast. If you tried to cancel and move your date a second time, you got kicked out. I'm sorry, you're not going to be on our show.
Yep.
If you can't keep a commitment when you make it, right? Don't come back for another one.
Yep. Off.
Seriously. All right. You get. You know what I mean? I give you 2 chances. That's it. Second chance. Bye. Tim's
tough, guys. Tim's tough.
It comes down to what you're willing to put up with.
Yep, I agree.
I'm done putting up with crap.
Well, you've been in business long enough. Some people they haven't been in business long enough, so they put up with the crap because they feel they have to. So
this is not my first rodeo. I think this is like my 14th business.
Exactly. As you've heard us say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore.
I'm done. So
I'm done.
Anyway, let's close out the hour. Thanks
everybody for watching and checking in on us. Don't forget, Tim, how can they get you?
Oh, they can go to, where is it? They can go to this website here.
Yay. And
or this website here to find out my events.
Yep.
How about you?
Me, I'm Katrina Garcia with KG Website Designs, and we help you make money with your website and save time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that being said, guys, we will see you guys next week. Will we be here next week?
Yes, I will be.
Oh, look on your calendar and see what next week is.
What is next week?
Don't say it. Okay. We will tell you guys next week what it is.
Yes. Because I don't know.